The Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
Take a look. It was a fun day for skiers at Mohawk Mountain as they enjoyed the final day of normal winter weather today. It's really the calm before the storm as we prepare to see some low temps and significant snowfall. But first, thank you so much for joining us on the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Annette Montgomery. We have a lot to talk about this hour with the focus on weather, from how much snow Connecticut is expected to see to closures to how you can be prepared. It all begins tomorrow with a cold weather advisory. So let's turn things over to meteorologist Sam Sampiri. Now, Sam, I know we've been talking. This is my first winter in Connecticut, but I know it's been years since the state has seen a storm like this one.
Yeah, not only that, but also the bitter cold. It's been a long, cold, early winter, and now we're getting into the mid section of winter now, between now and the middle of February. So we still have part 2 to go. And boy, this is going to be a stormy part 2, especially starting off the end of January and into the beginning of February. Take a look at this winter storm warning all the way from Arizona, Texas, right up to the East Coast here, up the East Coast. This is covering an awful lot of real estate. I haven't seen this in a long time. And zooming in, everybody under the gun, even the coastline, everybody's going to get moderate to heavy snow. You see that snow starting to develop. Yeah, and we're getting meanwhile, we're getting a cold front that's going to bring in the Arctic air. I do not think we're going to be dealing with much in the way of snow squalls, maybe a snow flurry. Look at the temperatures already falling off pretty quickly in northern Connecticut. So teens in northern Connecticut at the 20s to near 30 or in the 30s. There's the wind speeds. We have the gustiness still. So now we got wind chill values already dropping down to near 3 degrees. So we have a cold weather advisory through all of this. Partly cloudy to clear tonight. The lows down to near 0. In central and northern Connecticut, even some of the towns getting below 0. Yep, we're going to have wind chills down 15 to 20 below 0 by tomorrow morning and staying below 0 throughout the day. At least we don't have to worry about any snow. Bundle up tomorrow. Get ready for the big storm. I'll talk all about how much snow, when it starts, when it ends, and all the great winter details. Coming up in a few minutes. Annette?
Thank you so much, Sam. And the state's cold weather protocol is now in effect and will remain in place until Wednesday. That means anyone in need of shelter or a warming center, you can contact 211 for help. Also keep in mind, transportation to a shelter can be provided as well.
We need residents to stay home and stay off the roads.
The Department of Transportation says it will have crews hitting the roads early and often, working around the clock to keep them safe and clear. Fox 61's Jamel Johnson is in Wethersfield and shares how the department and its contractors are preparing.
State leaders and transportation officials issued a big message ahead of the weekend storm on Sunday. They say if you can help it, don't go outside in it at all. And if you're inside, prepare your home for a potential power outage. New England is no stranger to winter weather. Snowstorms, frigid temperatures, and freezing wind. Connecticut has seen it all. Department of Transportation Commissioner Gary Eucalito says Sunday's storm isn't one to be caught outside in.
I encourage everyone to think about, staying home, not going out on the roads. Travel conditions are going to be treacherous and incredibly difficult on Sunday with the high rate of snowfall. Our plow drivers can't really do their job effectively if there are vehicles stopped on the roadside unable to traverse.
CTDOT has notified more than 200 contractors and will have more than 900 drivers deployed during the storm to keep roads clear. Eucalito says they will not be pre-treating the roads because they believe they have enough treatment on the roads from the most recent snowfall.
If there is a crash, that person not only puts themselves at risk, they are putting the police, the tow operators, and the ConnDOT crews who are going to respond at risk. The fewer vehicles out on the roads on Sunday will make all of our jobs safer and let us do our job more effectively.
Commissioner of the Department of Emergency Management and Homeland Security, Brenda Bergeron, says also check in on vulnerable neighbors.
Particularly the elderly or people that live alone. Do they have enough food and water? Do they have enough to keep themselves warm?
Governor Ned Lamont says he doesn't anticipate any large power outages, but people should make sure they're prepared just in case.
We'd like to think there's not going to be as much electrical damage as you've seen in years past, but there's still 250 crews on standby by the utilities ready to protect you as well.
The governor was asked if he anticipates having to call in the National Guard to help up with a cleanup after the snowstorm. He said it's too early to tell. In Weathersfield, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
Thank you, Jamel. And with all these warnings from state officials, tons of people are heading to local hardware stores to grab their last-minute snow essentials. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules caught up with some of those shoppers to show us what's on the top of their shopping list.
The people I've seen doing their last-minute shopping have been coming to Cat's Hardware to grab bags of rock salt and even a few sleds.
Salt, sleds, shovels, it's mayhem here.
Bob Krieger, the owner of Cat's Hardware, says it's been busy leading up to the snowstorm.
Okay, perfect. We'll get rid of those.
He says he and his staff have traveled far and wide to prepare for last-minute shoppers.
We've got trucks going out and getting salt, coming back as fast as we can. We've already been up to New York and back. We go everywhere we can to get the product so we have it for everybody.
Wanda Bronstein lives in Glastonbury. She says she feels well prepared for heavy snowfall.
I already purchased all of the food that I need, including dog food, cat food, toilet paper, paper towels. This is actually the last thing I need. This is rock salt.
Jeffrey Brown says rock salt is at the top of his snowstorm essentials list.
Well, we're here to pick up some salt at this hardware store. We got some tarps, we got some shovels, and we're currently turning on all of our pipes so they don't freeze overnight.
Megan and Braden Casarino say they have something a little more fun at the top of their essentials list: sleds and snow tubes.
We got a sled and we got a tube because we are going to hopefully spend, if we have school off, we're going to spend all Monday sledding. Yep.
While many people are flocking to stores to stock up, Tina Gossner says snow is nothing new in this state.
You know, we've done this for decades and decades. People just need to relax.
Krieger encourages people not to wait until the last minute to stock up for the storm. In Glastonbury, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Thank you, Alicia. And ahead of the winter storm, cities and towns across Connecticut have now enacted parking bans, closures, and delays. Some students may also be happy to hear school is closed Monday. Just into the newsroom in the last hour, we learned all New Haven public schools will be closed Monday. While many other schools are now waiting to make the call, keep in mind most parking bans go into effect tomorrow. Also, a few businesses and churches say they will be closed on Monday. To see that full closure list, you can scan the QR code in the bottom of your screen. And we are not anticipating power outages from this storm, but it doesn't hurt to be prepared in the event of one. So make sure to have handy some flashlights, extra batteries, and a battery-powered radio, as well as stock up on water and non-perishable food items. Also keep in mind if you use a generator to run it outside. Also charge phones and power banks. And if you can, remember to check in on any senior neighbors in your area. And in the event you have to use a generator, the state's public health department is now sending out a warning. They want people to keep in mind improper use of generators or heating equipment can lead to deadly carbon monoxide poisoning, especially during power outages. And they also want to remind people to take it easy when shoveling snow. Cold temperatures and pushing yourself over your limit can all trigger heart emergencies. Officials say simple precautions like CO alarms and pacing yourself outdoors can save lives during this storm. And coming up in the next half hour, we took a trip this morning to some local grocery stores to see how shoppers are preparing ahead of the storm. As this window is preparing to close in, you'll hear from those last-minute shoppers next. And take a look, some other places that are now seeing some crowds ahead of the storm are your neighborhood package stores. A lot of people don't plan to be on the road this weekend, so they're now stocking up on their favorite beers, wines, and everything in between. Take a look at Sonny's Wine and Spirits in Hamden. Manager Pal Patel says they're making sure they stay open as long as possible ahead of this storm because they know there's a demand for what they're selling.
Some people don't want to go on outside on Sunday. Some, like older people, they are stuck in the snow and all. So I'm wondering, it's going to be tonight and tomorrow evening as well, going to be busy.
And like many other business owners, Patel says when it comes to the hours they'll be open during and after the storm, that decision is still up in the air and will depend on how much snow they get. And we will have extended coverage of this winter storm this weekend. Just tune in tomorrow at 6 p.m. on Fox 61 Plus. Meteorologist Sam Sampieri will track the storm before it hits the state and answer any of your questions. On Sunday, we'll be on Fox 61 and on streaming at 5:30 before the NFC Championship. And then on Monday, the morning news will begin an hour earlier at 4 a.m. Right now, new at 6, a South Windsor bus driver is accused of failing to break up a fight between students last October. Jimerson Dominic turned himself into police today. Officials say Dominic didn't do anything while students targeted and fought other students during a 25-minute period on the bus. Police accuse him of impairing morals and safety of all the students. The 61-year-old is now out on bond and due in court February 4th. We'll take a look. A garage fire this morning led to a person in Plainfield being hospitalized. Firefighters say an attached garage on Pratt Road caught fire just before 1. 3 departments battled the fire for 2.5 hours before they cleared the scene. Tonight, we are working to learn how serious those injuries are, and the cause of the fire is still under investigation. And take a look at this massive house fire that happened in Litchfield last night just after 10 o'clock on Batnam Road. The Red Cross helped 2 people who were displaced. Firefighters say nobody was hurt, but there are still some animals unaccounted for. Fire crews tell us the fire was up a long, icy driveway, which of course created some challenges when it came to putting it out. But officials say they were able to get that fire under control in less than an hour. Right now, it's still unclear what caused it.